I'm going to show you two pictures. I want you to tell me which one's 2K26 and which one's 2K27. Okay, here is one image, and here is the other image. Now, which one do you think is 2K26, and which one do you think is 2K27? Well, you either guess right or you guess wrong. The image to the left is 2K26, and the image to the right, that's 2K27. But I can't be mad at you for not knowing the difference. They look exactly the same. As this video continues to play, I will be showing you the 2K26 trailer and the 2K27 trailer, and I want you to be able to tell me what the difference is between these two games. So 2K27 has recently released its trailer, meaning we are now in the 2K cycle once more. It is 2K season, I guess. Meaning we are currently going to a cycle of the trailer looks great, and this is where everyone's excited for the new 2K that's going to release, and the game's going to come out, and then everybody's going to say it's the greatest 2K of all time, and then by midway through the year, it's going to be considered mid and one of the worst 2Ks, and then the cycle continues, and we all seen how this works before. But actually this year, I'm going to have to be honest with you, 2K27's feedback has had a bit of a different reaction. This year, people are starting to catch on that, hey, 2K is starting to look the exact same more than usual. And it usually always does look the same from the past, from 2K, let's say 21 up until 26, now 27, 2K hasn't really changed that much. And that's what I want to talk about today. So today we're going to be talking about 2K27's or NBA2K's, not graphical decline, but graphical staleness, I guess. So when I was a kid playing 2K14 on the Xbox 360, because I didn't have a PS4 yet, I was 9, gang, and my parents weren't buying me a $400 or $300 console at the time until I had to wait until at least Christmas. But I honestly, I didn't get a PS4 until like 2-3 years later. That's not the point. That's not important right now. But yeah, I used to play 2K14 on the Xbox 360, and for one, I thought the graphics were cool. I didn't actually hate the graphics for 14, honestly. I thought it actually looked pretty nice, but there may have been another version of 2K that was out at the same time on the PS4 of 2K14, and yeah, that game looks stunningly beautiful. I know I just said I was gonna do a thing where like I show you two different trailers of 2Ks. I think I'm still doing that. It should probably still be playing, but we're gonna quickly jump cut to 2K14's trailer, and I want you to just watch this trailer as I yap, basically. And the trailer basically was just straight up amazing. This is one of the best looking 2Ks to date. The game's almost 13 years old, mind you, and that's where my question comes in. Why is 2K, and not even just 2K, but many sports games, why does it always, where the game looks the same every singular year? Now, I'm gonna quickly jump back to 2K14 for a second. If you look at 2K14, and then you look at 2K15, and then you look at 2K16, and then you look at 17, they all look different. Back then, you couldn't really say 2K looked the same every year because it didn't. And personally, I don't understand why when we got to the next gen consoles, the PS5s and Xbox, I don't know what the new Xbox called. I just processed that. It's not called an Xbox One, is it? That's the old one. Oh, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series X. That's what it's called. Next generational consoles. Gosh darn it, man. I realized they don't do that anymore with 2Ks. It looks the same every year. The only changes is a bit of a lighting change, maybe, and that's it. And it's made me wonder, how come 2K just looks the same for the past 5+ years now with very little minimal changes? And that's what I want to talk about. So I want to give you, first of all, some of my hypothesis. Actually, before that, I'd like to show you an image from a Reddit post I found from 2023, and having the same complaints that I'm having now and what the rest of the community has been complaining about so far. So I found this post on Reddit saying, can we address how stale 2K has gotten from a graphical standpoint from 2K14 showing 2K23. Now this post is 3 years old, right? So this has been a problem for the 2K community for quite a while. I am stuttering. So here's an image of 2K14, one of the best looking 2Ks to date. I will say, I feel like people kind of overrate the look. I'll say the lighting, perfect. But when it comes to like graphics, etc., if you like look at face scans, I'm probably not gonna pull a picture. You can look that up yourself and come back to the video or whatever. But graphic like player models and when it came to like their face scans, a little rough back in 2K14. But that's okay because it was 12 years ago. It was NBA 2K14. But the lighting, perfection. Now here's 2K20. Now here's 2K23, and it looks a little unseasoned, to say the least. Little dry. Again, player models improved, yes, but lighting is oof. It's looking rough. It's looking really rough, and that's basically 2K in a nutshell. 2K can take one step forward, 2 steps back. That's basically 2K in a nutshell, if we're being honest. So why don't 2K's graphics nowadays just simply not change? And why does older 2Ks just look, to some people's eyes, better than the 2Ks we have now? Now, personally, I do think if you're playing like 2K26, the graphics look good, honestly. I think they did do lighting pretty good, and NASCAR is 14s, but I do think the graphics look good. My problem really isn't the graphics of 2K, it's the fact that it just looks the same every year. Again, I mentioned before, in older 2Ks, they would look different year in and year out. That's how you would know it's a new 2K. 14 didn't look exactly like 15. You can probably say it got worse. 15 it looked like 16, and 16 looked like 17. It changed, style-wise changed. And my question is, why is it the fact that 2K has not decided to change its, I want to say my art brains coming in, so I want to say art style, but why hasn't its art style, I guess, changed in these years? Why hasn't the style of the game evolved over these past 5 years? That's something I look forward to every year when a new 2K, and for the past 5 years, it has not been doing that. I might even argue past 10 years it hasn't been doing that. No, I can't say that. I just said 2K16, it looked the same. But yeah, and I do think one of the reasons is, even though I don't want to say it, it is, and first we have to point out that this is an annual release game. Again, not really meaning much because back then 2K didn't look the same back then, and it was an annual release game back then. Maybe something changed. I just had to mention it. Maybe the fact that it's an annual release schedule, and maybe they don't have enough time to try new looks nowadays like they used to back in the past. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing things at the wall here. Another one is, I think one of the reasons too is, I've been saying this for years, the city. 2K City, or the park, whatever you want to call it, probably makes the game very bloated. It probably makes the game very more limited to what they can do because how much stuff is in that city. There's so much stuff in there. It's a point. It probably makes it hard to focus on other things. Maybe even like gameplay. Could be yapping here. Don't know. And honestly, I think that's a big thing. I think that since they're still focused on stuff like, online game modes such as the city, such as my team and microtransactions, I don't think they're thinking as much about graphical looks anymore. They're just worried about the bag. And to the people who usually like to say, for me personally, I don't care about graphics, I just want the gameplay to be good, you're capping. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, you're capping. You know why I think you're capping? Because every year we have the same dialogue, same conversations of, 2K looks the same. We all say it. No, if that was the case, that's what we're saying right now. That's why I'm making this video. Everybody says, hey, 2K looks the same every year and complains about it all the time. That means you do care about graphics. Graphics are an important thing. Maybe, definitely not as important as gameplay, obviously. Prime example, 2K25 to me is one of the worst 2Ks. It looked decent. The game stunk. Better example, 2K18, perfect example. 2K18 to me looked amazing. Game just stunk. Gameplay wise, it was horrible, so it ruined the whole point. You feel me? So, but no, graphics are an important thing. Graphics, presentation, these are important things to my sports game. And I feel like people who think, that's not important, because with presentation, we used to just skip all that stuff, and graphics, who cares? I'm just here to play a game. Bro, little details matter. Why did College Football 25 was considered one of the biggest sports games for that year, or the biggest one? Because they cared about the little details to an extent. It's EA. Let's not forget who they came from. Let's relax. But stuff like that, better example actually, older games where they cared about all the little details. Why are those games remembered so fondly? Because they cared about little details, because they cared about presentation, graphics to an extent, because they were older back then. and you know, all the little details matter, such as, you know, like I said, presentation, graphics, and gameplay. But my main talking point for this, my main point for this whole video is me just saying I just want 2K to not even change the graphics. People, because another topic that people will say is 2K just can't, like, you know, like we've hit a graphical wall or something, and this is the peak basically, and that's cap. Because look at the modders exist, and they make the game look 10 times better. So I don't even want to hear that excuse neither. And I'm not even saying it to even look better. Just to have a different style every year would be fantastic to me. Where some years it looks like this, and some years it might look like that. But that's not, we don't even get that. And I just think it's just lazy, for being honest. Now, do I think 2K26 was a bad game? Not really, but again, I don't really play online. I'm mainly a my league playing online kind of player. So this, you know, I'm not your average 2K head, I guess. So my thoughts may be a little different, but I think stuff like graphics and little details, I think those stuff matter. But you know, that's how I feel about it. Tell me your thing down below in the comments. And God bless.